Greetings and good afternoon. Welcome, 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 welcome. We're getting ready to activate. So let me figure out why we're activating. Come on in here, brothers and sisters. Let's energize this vortex. A vortex is what it shall be. Let's get on up in here and let me energize this vortex. Let's jump because we gotta jump into this new timeline.
Oh, activate. Can you feel it? Activate. Feels good. Activate. Come on and jump a little higher. 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 Jump a little higher.
Get on up in here. Let us know when you're in the chat. Give us a fire sign. Give us a lion. Give us a sun. Give us a moon. We are activating right now as we get ready to enter 2026 Lionsgate portal.
Jump with me to the new timeline. Move confidently. You gotta make up your mind.
JC the Goddess.
Can't worry about those friends who ain't trying to grow. No, if there's one thing I can surely tell you, one thing I can show you is how to jump a little higher. Jump a little higher. Jump a little higher.
Take out your notepads and your pens because I'm going to be dropping some very pertinent information for this Lionsgate portal as well as the month of August. Some things that we need to work on, some things we need to release, some things that are going to be happening from the cosmic realm and from an energetic and planetary perspective. All right, so come on and jump with me to the new timeline as we activate this powerful, and I mean it's going to be a powerful Lionsgate portal. You better be ready. You better buckle in, because we ain't playing.
You better jump it with me. Don't you waste no time. You better jump it with me, yeah, to the new timeline. Let's go. No looking back, just moving on.
No looking back, family.
Just moving up. Come on, let's jump.
Yes. That's how we do. We jump into the new timeline. We ground ourselves. We anchor ourselves into our new reality. This is another unscheduled one. This is another one where I just kind of drop in from the fifth dimension. Yes, let's go. PRHR 7475. Let's get ready because I need to drop some very, very, very pertinent information. Peace, Kirk. What's happening? I do this unscheduled for a reason because I don't like to schedule. They say that we make plans, but the creator will definitely unsettle those plans and do something different. So I feel like if I move with spirit, if I move with the way that the energy is flowing, then the downloads that you all will get will be more pure. They will be more accurate. And it will be something that will be able to give us the assistance that we need moving forward. All right. Now, we have all heard about the Lion's Gate. So peace, protection, and prosperity to each and every one of you that catch the live as you're coming in, as you're getting in the chat. Let us know when you're in the chat. And for those of you that will catch this thing after the fact, we also wish peace, protection, and prosperity over you, your life, your loved ones, everything and all whom you hold dear. All right. This is a frequency that we are sharing. And again, this is a time for unity like no other, right? We can look at what's happening in the 3D. We can look at what's going on in society and see that it is a bunch of muck, mayhem, and chaos that's going on, right? But that's what we're here for. That's what we are here for. Okay. So I want to talk about some things. I have some things, especially for those of you that know when I come up here, I like to do more than talk. I like to come up here and I like to teach. So the things that I'm going to be sharing with you, you may find it helpful to write these things down. I took my time. I get my meditations. I get my downloads. For those of you that are part of the soul, that seed of light, for those of you that are part of the soul elite, you should have received an email. So check your emails because there's some important information there for you as well. See, when you're elite, you kind of get the information that everybody else don't get. Okay. So I want to once again just send you that piece, that frequency. Let's get grounded. I want you to just take a breath with me before we start. You know, we're gathering here together in this moment, in this time. Know that your soul, right? Your soul already knew that you would be here to log on and catch this live. Trust me on that. Your soul already knew it, predestined it, set aside the time that you thought you were going to be doing something else right now at this time, but you weren't because you, right, set a pre intention to be present for this live transmission. Okay. So there's some things that I want to kind of give it to you straight. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the astronomy, not astrology, astronomy. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about some traditions. We're going to talk about the energy. We're going to talk about what's kind of um, the way that I interpret things. All right. The way that I get my downloads. And it's okay. You don't have to resonate and agree with everything. You get to decide what you take with you on this journey. You get to decide what you take with you. All right. Now, just for the sake of doing so, I want to talk a little bit about the Lion's Gate, right? We hear everybody talk about the Lion's Gate. Every single year, we talk about the Lion's Gate portal, what it means. But this year, right? This year, by this being a 1 year, this Lion's Gate is going to hit different. All right. So I am sure that you all have your other content creators and other people that you click on and you see, and you might just get a little interest. Things are popping up in your timeline about the Lionsgate and about the transitions and transformations, the transitions that our planetary bodies are making, as well as the transformations that we are making. Sure, a lot of these things are going to come up in your timeline, but nobody's going to give it to you like me. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about what the Lion's Gate is, the facts, because there's the mysticism. Greetings, Black Kitty. There's some mysticism there, but I also want to talk about the facts. Okay. So this is what we know about the Lion's Gate. All right. So those of you that are my students, former students, you know how I get down. Get your pen, get your paper, because it's going down. Classes in session. All right. Now, every year between late July, right, and mid-August, our sun, our soul, SOL, right, when it's in Leo, right, the sun in Leo, our earth and the Sirius, Sirius, Sirius star, they get in alignment. And this is symbolic. And yes, it happens every year. But do you realize how very powerful? Because this is what we know about Sirius. Excuse me, for those that don't know. This is what we know about Sirius. Let us know when you get in the chat, family. Sirius is 100 times more powerful than our sun. In other words, AKA, Sirius is the battery in our sun's back. Soul R, our soul. That's the name of our sun, soul, right? So Sirius is the battery in our sun's back. And in a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about the Dogon tribe from Mali. We're going to talk a little bit about them. But this is what we know. We know that the sun, our sun, hey, Anthony, we've been a long time. So glad to have you here. That's so important and so impertinent. See, this is how I know that the Lionsgate portals is opening, because some of you all haven't tapped in years, or I don't know if I've not been on the right timeline, but I'm so glad you are here, because this is going to be very important. All right. So our sun, our earth, and the Sirius move into alignment. Now, we do know that Sirius is the brightest star in our nighttime sky. Right? It's the brightest star besides our own sun. We know that our sun is a star, so they say. Okay? And that's what it is. So when we look at the people in ancient Kemet and also other ancient traditions, we know that they kind of tracked the way that Sirius moved, right? Right? And they called that a sopdet. They called it sopdet. That's S as in Sam, OPDET as in terrific. Right? Because what it did was it predicted the flooding of the Nile. And this is the way that our ancient ancestors, they looked to the sky for everything. Okay? They looked to the sky for everything, for all of the knowledge and wisdom that they needed to live and to navigate and migrate this terrain that we call Earth. This is what they did. Okay. Now, when we look at ancient Kemet and ancient Mali and all of these traditions, they didn't necessarily have a name for it, like what we call it, Lion's Gate or 8-8 portal, right? They just, this language is something, can we call it New Age? We can call it New Age, although we know that there's nothing new under the sun. This is a new type of modern language, right? And so it was birthed out of the astrology and the New Age community more so than anything. But that reverence for the Sirius star, that is ancient. I'm talking about ancient. All right. So the way that we bring it and put it together to each other here, this is what's going to be important. Grace and peace, Sister Denise. Thank you for joining us. Right. So it doesn't mean that it was less powerful then or that it's more powerful now. It's just that it's important. Now, we said late July. So that was about what? July the 26th up to August 12th. So the peak is 8-8. So this is why you hear all the rhetoric and the buildup of 8-8. You know, it's like a little rhyme that we say 8-8 Lions Gate, right? Because that's when it peaks, that 8 and that 8. And so this is what I'm going to be kind of getting off into the mathematics with you all, right? And so what we're talking about is a triple gateway. Write that down. It's a triple gateway. 8-8-2026, right? Because it when you remember when we use numbers, and everything in the universe is numbers. Codes is numbers. When you go to the doctor's office and they run lab tests on you, those reports, they come back as numbers. Everything is numbers. You, believe it or not, you got your social security number. Your age is a number. So we're not going to look at numbers like the numbers are evil. So when we look at the numbers of this and we reduce this down to a single digit, right, we've got the number 8. Now, that's 3 8s stacking together in one date. Imagine that. So when we look at the number 8, it's the number of infinity, karma, power. 8 is also a number of power. And 8 is also the bridge between the spirit realm and this realm, the realm of the earth realm or the realm of matter or whatever you want to call it as. Right now, when we look at 2026, which is the year we're in right now, remember, we're going to break down the numbers, is a universal year one. Number one, right? So this is a year of new cycles. It's a year of new begin. When we look at the number one, that's what it means, right? New cycles, new beginnings. When you look at your cards, the number one is the magician, because the magician knows how to make something out of nothing. And get my water, please. Right? The magician knows how to make something out of nothing. So there we have the number one. So it's a number of new beginnings. So a 1 year underneath a number 8 gate, that's a new foundation. That's sovereign power. Even when we look at 8, even if I wanted to break this down a little bit further, right? And 8 could be 2 4s, right? And 8 can be 2 4s. And we know that 4 is the number for building. On the 29th, right? Our moon, we had a full moon in Aquarius. We had a full moon in Aquarius. Now, remember, even though aqua is in the word Aquarius, Aquarius is not, it has very little to do with water, as far as it's not a water sign, but it is the water bearer. Who can carry water? Did you know that in ancient times, right, the person who carried the water, you had to be strong to carry water. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having to walk from the river all the way back to the village, sometimes 2 miles, 3 miles, walking on foot with 2, I'm just going to call them buckets. We don't know what they carried them in, but imagine having to walk back with 2 buckets of water, 1 in each hand, 2 to 3 miles away from your village, from the river. You got to be strong to carry water. So the water bearer is also something that we should look at when we talk about being able to hold space. So anyway, we had this full moon in Aquarius, right? Now, when you look at that, that looks about that's talking about the collective. Hey, Kanita, welcome. So good to see some of you all tapping back in. This is amazing. It was meant for you to be here. So we're talking about the collective humanity. And what we're talking about is what's going to be happening in our future, our near future, our upcoming future. Now, when we look at the new moon and total solar eclipse that's going to happen in Leo on August 12th, that's when it starts getting real. Write these dates down, y'all, because I'm telling you, I'm dropping some gems tonight. Right? So one thing that we know, there's an arc here. We activate on 8/8, right? We activate on 8/8, right? And then on August 12th, we're going to have a total solar eclipse in Leo. That means, for those that don't know, and I can't imagine that any of you don't know what that means, but I'm just going to go ahead and spit it out. That means that completely and totally, not a partial, but a total solar eclipse, our sun, solar, will be completely covered, but the sun is going to be in Leo. So that's August 12th. Okay. So that now this talks about not only us as a collective, but also your personal fire, your own personal fire. And I think one of the last times I was up here, I talked about each and every one of you having a divine spark, or I might have sent that out in the email to the Seed of Light, the Soul Temple members. Talked about each and every one of you having a divine spark. Okay. That talks about your new beginnings. So on the 12th is when we can kind of really, really get real and start talking about the changes that we're going to make. That's right. August 8th, we're going to activate. August 12th, we're going to have that solar eclipse. Now, let's talk about what Jupiter is doing. Jupiter just moved into Leo. This is powerful because we know that Jupiter is our planet for expansion. It's the largest planet in our visible solar system. I said our visible solar system. It is the largest planet, Jupiter, right? and Jupiter is giving off so much energy, especially now during this period when we talk about Leo, because when we talk about Leo, we start talking about personal power. We start talking about personal creativity. I know I've been on a creative frenzy here, finishing up some artworks that need to be sent out to a couple of people. But it's sitting near 8 degrees. Huh? So there's another 8. So Jupiter just moved into Leo, right? And it's sitting near 8 degrees. And that's the degree that's tied to creative mastery. So that means what? That means your gifts that are inside of you. It means it's time to stop laying on them, stop sleeping on them, and start finishing or completing some things that you've started that you've just kind of set to the side. Here's another good thing that's happening right now. Mercury is clearing its retrograde shadow. So right as the gate peaks, these are very important things for you to get now. All right. Because every time everybody talks about Mercury being in retrograde, right? And believe it or not, you don't have to be an astrologist. You don't have to be someone who is an astronomer to know and understand the frequencies. Just like when you can go to I'm going to make this plain for some people that may not get it fully. Just like you can go to particular places on this earth, whether it be Sedona, whether it be Mount Shasta, whether it be, I think, where's that, Australia? They have these beautiful pink salt lakes and different things like that. Different places, Machu Picchu, different places on this earth give off a frequency and a vibration. So if our earth, and trust me, if you've gone to some of these places, you can feel the energetic shift, right? So if we know that our earth gives off particular frequencies, then we must know that other planets that interact and do a dance with us in the solar system, they also give out energy. Okay. So now Mercury is coming out of that retrograde shadow right as this gate peaks. So that means what? That means communication is going to start opening back up, right? Let's say you've had some contracts. Let's say you've been waiting on some things to get finalized, whether it be a house or some legal stuff that you've been having going on. All of these delayed messages that you've been waiting for, they're going to start clearing up this month during this Lionsgate period. So this is why this is very important. And of course, I'm going to bring in the CERN and how that's going to affect things now that that's off. So what you've got to do is, if you're writing, you got to write down the things that you know that you've been holding back, because they're getting ready to start resurfacing for you to be able to deal with them again. Our inner nodes are also shifting, right, onto the Leo Aquarius this year. There's an axis there. All right. So that means that our soul's growth is literally moving from who I am, Leo, who I am. Leo is all about look at me, see me, watch me now. Leo, who am I? Who I am. Who am I? That's the Leo, that self-identification, right? And we're moving from that, moving into what do I owe the collective, Aquarius? What am I carrying? Am I holding my weight? Remember a while ago I said that you've got to be strong to be a water bearer, to bring that water back to the village. Not everybody can hold that kind of weight. So these are the two energies that we're going to be teetering and tottering off of, is who am I? And what do I owe the collective? What is my part? What is my position in this? And this axis is exactly what this particular portal is sitting inside of. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about CERN. Yes, CERN's Large Hadron Collider did shut down at the end of June. It was June the 29th. But that's a beautiful thing, because that means it shut down right as we're getting ready to move into and activate this Lionsgate portal. So this is what we do know. This was planned. So it's a planned 4-year quote unquote maintenance shutdown. And they call that the long shutdown 3. Now, what they're supposed to be doing is installing upgrades. This is what's been said to us in the news. And the only thing we could do is go by what we're being told. But they said that they're going to be installing upgrades, um, you know, to I guess make a new generation. You know, like how the iPhone come out with a new generation. So they're coming out with a new generation, right? And they're calling that the high luminosity. Luminosity. What's in that word? Luminous light, giving off a particular light. So it's going to be the high luminosity, right? And they're going to open that back up in 2030. Okay. So there's a veil that's been lifted. And this is very timely if you want to be able to capitalize in a spiritual and metaphysical way, an energetic way. If you want to capitalize off of these energies, this is perfect timing that they cut this hadron collider down, right? Because symbolically, and this is all it is symbolically, this is humanity's most powerful tool for smashing matter apart to find hidden truth. This is what the Hadron Collider is. So what can this mean for us symbolically? There's some things in us that we're going to have to shut down, some old programming that we need to shut down, right? And there's some things in us that we're going to need to upgrade. And hopefully during this time, you're going to be getting your upgrades, but we need to shut some of these old systems down that our emotions are running off of, that our thoughts are running off of, that our bodies are running off of. You need to be like your own personal CERN machine. Shut it down. Shut it down and give yourself the upgrade that you deserve so that you could be a new version of yourself, so that you could be the new generation of yourself. Okay? Okay. So now let's go back to the 8-8 Lionsgate. And we can look at Leo, the Leo energy, which is going to be amplified by Jupiter. So what did this mean? Your confidence should start picking up. You should begin to start feeling more confident about yourself and about your purpose. Also, creative mastery and being witnessed and recognized for the powerful soul being that you are. Remember, Leo is all about just here I am. I'm confident. I've got courage, right? Leo's ruling planet is the sun. So there's fire there. There's luminescence there, right? So it's very important. Also, the energy of this outside of confidence and creative mastery is going to be your sovereignty and your self-authority. Your sovereignty and your self-authority. How you want to rule and master over somebody else and you can't even master yourself? We're talking about self-authority and remembering your sovereignty. When we look at the number 8, we're, and again, 8 being connected to power, even it begs you to ask yourself, whose power are you standing in? It's also going to be, especially now since the CERN machine is shut down, is going to be now you're going to be able to detect. So I don't know if this is going to be more so by visibly, maybe visibly for some people, right? But visibly, and you're going to be able to detect the energies between the seen and the unseen realms on an individual and a collective. So some of you all, as we talked on the last time I came up here and went live, some people spoke about how their intuition was being activated so powerfully. Well, that's getting ready to intensify. Your dreams are going to continue to intensify. Remember, if you look at an 8 and you write it and then you turn it upside down, how it's still an 8. And in supreme mathematics, the number 8 represents build and destroy, both at the same time. And that's also what Shiva, hello somebody, this is also what Shiva represents. And the Shiva statue is what stands outside of the CERN laboratories in Switzerland. You see, Shiva did the dance that destroyed the world. But here's the thing about destruction. If you've got a dilapidated building that's just sitting on land, and that dilapidated building is not doing anything but drawing vagrants or whatever, and you've got to destroy that building in order to build something new upon it. If you've got an illness within your body that's trying to heal, that illness has to be destroyed. That germ has to be destroyed in order for your body to be able to begin to heal. So when we look at destruction, there are times when you want to destroy. Okay? So it's okay. You can build and destroy all at the same time. Whatever you destroy, you got to build something back up in its place. When we look at kind of what's going on right now in society, there's a lot going on, brothers and sisters. There's a lot going on. Yes, there is. And there's a lot that we can talk about. There's a lot that we can talk about. There's a lot of global conflict right now. And with all the distractions going on, people are forgetting about what's going on in places like Iran. People are forgetting about what's going on in places like the Ukraine, and all of these places. There's a lot of global conflict going on. Did you guys see what's going on in China? They've got fires. They've got typhoons. They've got buildings crumbling. There are these wildfires that have been going on in Canada. There are these wildfires that have been going on in places in Europe. I'm talking about more fire. Well, God said he's not coming back with water again. It's going to be fire and brimstone. So listen, they better get it right. They better get it right, because I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. And trust me, I'm no longer doing the card readings. Number one, I don't need the cards, but I can give y'all some whole predictions on what's going to go down. I kind of stopped predicting for a minute because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just let everybody figure it out for themselves. I'm no Nostradamus, right? But I can tell you a thing or two. It's only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And where you are vibrationally is going to determine what side of the fence you'll be standing on by the time all of this is over. We got a lot of global conflict, and it's heavy. It's heavy in our Earth's energetic field. Just like you have your aura. Remember, our Earth has an aura. Our Earth has an energetic field, just like you have an energetic field. People are grieving. That grief is real. Even when it's not us experiencing it. Remember how the last time I came up here and went live, I talked about empathy and what an empath and why we're able to feel. Because we have this shared collective consciousness. When we look at not only the global conflict, the economic pressure, gas is still high, food is still high. It's the anxiety. And trust me, all of this is by design. But the anxiety is widespread over the economy and what people can and can't afford. A lot of people are kind of manifesting from a place of survival, right? Not expansion, which is what this Jupiter moving into Leo is going to do for us. It's going to give you that confidence to expand your consciousness, expand what you're receiving with confidence, not just from a place of survival, right? When we look at the generations now, the young people, a lot of people they're speaking up, they're refusing that to be silenced, especially within the melanated community, what they call them, the YNs. Listen, these young people are different, and they are not going for the same things that our grandmothers and our great grandmothers and our great great grandmothers, walking with that, yes sir, no sir, holding your head. They're different. And I'm not condoning a lot of what I've seen, but I'm talking about they're different. Okay. And we can see that now. Also, when we look at the information that we're receiving, we're having to ask ourselves, can we trust that? Yes, Sister Denise, most people are in survival mode. We have to ask ourselves, can we trust the information that they say you hear people talking about how the internet is dead. Like sometimes, which is one of the reasons why from today, especially after I do this live, because I had to come up here and give you guys this download, but I'm going to be joining people across the globe who have decided to take a technology fast from, I guess, social media fast from August 1st to August 8th. No, excuse me, August 1st to August 7th, which kind of aligns perfectly with the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. So I'll likely get back on and see what's going on after 8/8. But from today, right, to the 7th, there are a lot of people who have committed ourselves to not being distracted by the scrolling and by the entertainment and even by the news. Because, oddly enough, a lot of us get our news from social media now, right? Right. So why is this? For me, it's to be able to clear and get my downloads perfectly as I get ready to activate this 8/8. But that doesn't have to be you. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. But when we look at the information that's being out there, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of surveillance. People are fighting for the truth. People are fighting for answers. Number one, we got to stop fighting and we got to just start manifesting. But I get it. You got to fight for your rights to party, but fighting for this truth is a part of our daily culture right now, because why is it so hard for truth? But it is evidently. What do we need to work on for ourselves? Here again is where you start writing things down. Some of the things that we need to work on as we activate into this 8/8 is going to be the making your decisions based out of fear and out of survival, because that survival mode, that fight or flight, is because we're fear-based most of the time. We're kind of making decisions from a so-called sense of urgency, scarcity. We sit there and we scroll as a coping mechanism. And most people who sit there and just scroll, have you been in the room with your partner or the room with your sibling or the room with your family, and everybody is on a different device scrolling? How are you in the room with your significant other and both of y'all on the phone scrolling when that can be time? These are minutes, sometimes hours, that we spend scrolling, which could be time that you could be building, that you can be conversing, that you can be sharing. I don't know, maybe during this 8/8 Lionsgate portal, we'll be able to start coming back to some of that, because a lot of people are scrolling just to escape the reality of their lives. And I just don't get it, because if my granddad used to say every day above ground is a good day. So if you woke up, there's some purpose that you can find in that day, isn't it? Other than just scrolling all day long. Another thing that we're gonna have to let go of during this particular Lionsgate is that people pleasing. Ooh, we can't please everybody. They say you could please some of the people some of the time, but not sometimes you can't even please some of the people none of the time. Stop trying to people please. Hmm? This is a Leo gate. This is a Lion's gate that we're moving into. Right? So it's no more hiding your light for somebody else to make somebody else, feel okay or to feel comfortable. I don't care if it's your significant other, your children, your parents, your anybody, right? Anybody. You know what I'm saying? What else you going to let go of? Outdated identities. What is that? That's the old you. Who are you becoming as we move into this 8-8 Lionsgate? You're becoming the new you. So you're going to let go of the outdated identity. Why? Because you don't need it anymore. Step out of that costume and put another one on. Life is a stage. You're the main you're the leading man or the leading lady in your own big screen debut. Hmm? So you're going to let go of the version of you that made sense 5 years ago. 10 years ago, 3 years ago, last year. But now it feels like a costume. Now it feels like a mask that you're wearing. We talked about masks the last time I was here. You know, another thing that we're going to let go of as we move into this gate is what I like to call spiritual bypassing, meaning that when you are on this love and light, love and light, love and light, good vibes only, in an effort to avoid feeling what's real, to avoid the accountability of who you are, to avoid facing what you need to address, whether personally or whether you know that you've been called, whether you know that you've been called into something to be a part of this collective movement towards a higher frequency earth. What else are you going to let go as you move through this 8-8 portal? You're going to move through comparison. Remember last time I said that comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Stop comparing yourself to these people all over the internet. Half of that stuff is not real. Don't you know? Can't you tell when you're clicking on some of these videos that it is a whole AI created person? You think you're watching? Come on, man. Stop comparing yourself. And guess what else? You don't have to perform for your spiritual path anymore. Y'all don't got to perform no more. Y'all can keep it real. Because one of the reasons you all do know that I started off in wellness and healing, right? And I do feel that wellness and healing kind of they kind of go neck and neck, side and side. They perfectly align with spirituality, energy, and metaphysics. But one of the reasons that I decided, except for only a few chosen people, the elite, why I'm no longer doing spiritual work and spiritual sessions on a mass scale anymore, is because your spiritual journey is a journey that you have to take. You have to follow that, right? And with all of the information, all of the videos, all of the books, all of the teachers and guides that you tapping into, number one, you got to be careful all these people energy that you tapping into. But your spiritual journey it's personal. It's your relationship with the creator. It's your reconciliation with your beliefs. But healing is something that we can do collectively. Although it starts off as you got to heal you and I got to heal me. Once we've all kind of come into alignment with that, we could begin to shift the frequency of this planet. And that's not pseudoscience. That's not talk. That's real. Y'all could stop having to perform. Stop having to feel like that you have to I've never liked performances. I've never liked the performances, man. It's just like, just give it to us straight. And that's what you're going to be moving into this year. Throughout the rest of 2026, you're going to feel less of a desire to tap into what seemed like is being performed, what seemed like is being repeated, and you want to tap into more of that real, that frequency. And yes, your soul can feel the difference. We're also going to have to let go of the old grief. Peace, love, and oneness. I'm so glad you caught me too. Know thyself. Yes, yes. We got to let go of that old grief. We're holding on to things that are weighing us down. Listen, I got to say this, and I got to say it because I've been there. I mean, I was there. Sometimes I feel like I am there, but then I have to remind myself, why am I holding on to this? I don't need this anymore. Not where I'm going. You holding on to what 3 exes ago did to you, and you're in a whole new relationship. You're holding on to the fact that your father was absent, and you've developed to be a superb, outstanding human being that is quite successful in life, but you still finding something to hold on to. Old grief. Oh, you got your mama wound. Your mama didn't do this, and your mama didn't do that. Listen, man. The old grief, holding on to all that old stuff, that's not going to do you any good. In fact, what it's doing is it's poisoning your cells, man. It's poisoning your cells. Here you are so-called trying to heal and elevate and activate and do all these things, but you still holding on to, man, listen, I've had some people do some horrendous things to me in my life, but you got to let it go. The old contracts, the old agreements. Listen, let it go. Stop trying to numb yourself. We also numb ourselves a lot. I know I do this by staying busy. I am so guilty of this. My adult children are like, Mom, when my one son, he'll call me and he's like, what are you doing, Mom? I'm like, oh, I'm working on the website, or oh, I'm launching this product, or oh, I'm doing this. He's like, Mom, when are you gonna rest? When are you gonna lay down? Busyness, right? Numbing ourselves, staying on the screens all day, staying at work all day, just doing anything that you can do not to be able to address what's going on with you in your frequency and in your life. Now, here, as we talk about some things that we want to let go, well, if I destroy something, what do I need to build in its place? I want to, instead of, being stuck on misinformation and making my decisions out of urgency and fear, I want to call in an embodied truth into my experience. So whatever that thing is, right? You could do tapping, temporal tapping, tapping on the left side of your brain to say something say something out loud that you want to manifest, and then tap on the right side of your brain, something that's true and is a fact. And then, you do this temporal tapping, and you can align both hemispheres of your brain. You can embody truth. Start that business. Come on now, publish that book. Create that art. Finish that project. Do the things that you need to do. You also have to reclaim your authority over your time, your voice, your body, your mind. We just give it away. Let folk borrow it. Can I get a minute of your time? Not unless you're willing to pay for it. See, time is the commodity that you can't get back once you give it up. And if people don't respect your time, they don't respect your sovereignty. If people want to get an attitude because you can't, answer the phone in this minute, or it took you a week to answer their email, or, they don't respect. First of all, clearly they don't care about what you got going on, because the first thing they do is take it personal. Don't take it personal. Take the bitter with the sweet. That's Jermaine Jackson, right? You want to take it personal and you don't know what I got going on. How about, hey, Ningba, is everything all right? I had reached out to you about a week ago and I didn't get a response. I was just checking to make sure everything was good on your end. But nah, you won't do that. You take it personal. You got to reclaim your sovereignty over your time, your mind. Stop letting, your mind be controlled by all these evil and wicked thoughts and all these thoughts that aren't taking you anywhere. Your voice, speak your truth if it hurts. Sometimes that truth is just telling somebody no. Oh, I don't want to say no because I don't want to hurt their feelings. You better hurt some feelings before you get hurt. And it's not about hurting feelings. You're not intentionally setting out to hurt someone's feelings because you tell them no, or because you decide to put yourself first. We got to stop that. You got to take back your sovereignty over yourself, over your life. The other thing that we're going to focus on as we move into this 8-8 is your discernments. This is a big one because we are being flooded. And I'm talking about flooded every day, all day, with all this news, all this information. This person, this done happen to this person. This done happen. A lot of these people, we don't even know who they are, but we feel the rage. We feel the sadness. We feel the anger. You have to, like I say, that goes back into taking back your sovereignty over what and how you feel, or how deeply you feel. Yes, you could feel empathy, or you could feel sympathy, or you could feel, concern for a thing. But I'm talking about, if every time you turn on the news and something in you want to keep for a minute. I was going crazy for a second. I just kept, every time I went on the YouTube, I'm clicking to see what's going on with the Nolan Wells case. Okay, I said, let me stop watching this. Let me stop watching this. Why? Not because it's not important, because it's a part of one of many worlds. Watch this, family. Watch this, because this is important. When you see things like that going on in the world, whether it be fantastic or whether it be detrimental, it is something that's going on in a world inside of many worlds. See, we all are each one our own universe. Each one of us our own universe. So what you allow yourself to feel deeply about, you shall manifest. So I had to stop watching that. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this. I ain't about to do no reading on it. Now, if this was me 10, 15 years ago, I would have been doing a reading on it and been pretty damn accurate about what was going on too. But I was like, nope, that's not my business. I got to focus on what's going on in my world. Now, hats off to everybody that feel like that's what they need to do, but I'm not doing it. You got to take back your discernment over a lot of the information. And what do I mean by that? That means slow down before you share something, before you automatically believe it, or before you react. When you get a piece of information, or when you watch something on the internet, slow down for a minute. Ask yourself, okay, wait a minute. Do I even know all the facts here? Do I even know, if I dwell on this, or if I keep watching stuff on this, is this going to lower my frequency and make me emotionally sad and make me this? Because we all got black suns out here, don't we? But listen, brothers and sisters, you have to be in control over what there you go. No, I said you got to be mindful. Be mindful of what you feel deeply about. Because something is feeding, or someone is feeding off that energy of yours. When we look at this 8-year, we're building. When we are burnt out, we can't build. So we're gonna claim back um that when we need to rest, we're going to honor that within ourselves. When your body or your mind or your spirit is telling you to rest, it's time to rest. It's also time for us to get back into a sense of community. We've been isolated. I know I've isolated myself for maybe the past 2 years now, but that's the reason why. What did I say? I can tell you this today, brothers and sisters, because this is something that I had to do. I had to unplug from the large aspect of social media, from all the Aphrodite stone stuff. And, I had to unplug from that, right? And let go of what did I say earlier? I said something about letting go of the old identity, the outdated identity. Let go of the old identity because I don't want to be stuck on stupid. I want to continue to raise. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to learn. I will be a forever student. There will never not be a time that I'm not learning. And I love that about me. I always want to learn. But you also have to be careful the information that you're taking in, the things that you are learning. We've been isolated. The Aquarius energy moving into the earth field is kind of pushing us towards, building with people. Building with people. Which is why we will be, well, you already know about the seed of light. But we're putting forth an outreach arm so that we can help single women, teen mothers, single mothers, and mothers who are re-entering society from prison. We are getting ready to do some big things starting this year and moving on into 2027 and moving forward. Our mission, our outreach is to be a women for women's resources. Because see, the woman, when you can heal the woman, you can heal the nation. Come on, somebody. Let me know if I said something right. I said, when you can heal the woman, you can heal the nation, because it's the woman that's continuing to have these babies. And if we're not able to help these sisters heal, especially those of you that are still in childbearing age and different things like that, what type of babies are you bringing here? What type of babies are you bringing here? They're not star seeds. A couple years back, it was a bunch of star seeds being born into the planet. But a lot of our sisters need healing. We can't just look at them all on the net with a judgmental eye, because I see a lot that's going on in the net, but it's also a lot of real women out here, real sisters out here, right here in my area, right here where you are, no matter where you are. We're setting up this Women's Resources Center, right? So that we want to be able to do things for you. Like, why is it, right? Here's one of the things that I always had a problem with. Why is it that it's a melanated church on every city in America, on the block, every couple blocks, you got a church, not just melanated church, but especially in our melanated communities, you got all these churches within our communities. But one thing that I see as a parallel, right? One thing that I see as a parallel, ain't that right, Anthony? One thing that I see as a parallel, right, is that the melanated churches, the black church, call it what y'all call it, the black church, they always talking about a tithe, an offering, a building fund, a this or that. But you go to the white churches and they the ones with the major food banks. What? I don't get that. And we got more churches than anybody. We got more pastors and first ladies and all this than anybody. And if you do have a church, and many of you have been to churches just like this, if they do have some sort of a little program within the church to help you get your little light bill paid or something like that, man, you got to go through a lot. So when I talk about building community, I'm not just telling you to do it. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm telling you to get on board this love train, because it has to be about love now. And it can't be about the love that we just talking about. Oh, love and light, brothers and sisters. I love you all. Peace, love, and oneness in the name. No, it's about showing love. And how do we show love? We show up. This is how we need to be showing love in 2026 as we activate this Lionsgate. You got to start showing up. And this is what we're going to be doing. So just you guys click that link in the description and bookmark that, save that, you know, so that you can keep up on what we're doing, because we can really do some great things for our community. And yes, here in Arizona where I live, but also those of you that are part of the Seed of Light, the SOL community, trust me, you will be able to qualify for certain benefits and things that we're going to be doing as well. All right. And we're looking for good people to help us, to join us. If you are a grant writer and all of the, we're looking for good people to help us get this movement started, because when you heal a woman, you heal a nation. All right. I digress. What else are we going to be calling in or trying to focus on during this 8-8 Lionsgate portal? Finishing what you started. Finishing what you started. Man, I've got so many paintings out there in my art studio that I've started, things that I've started that I've not finished yet. But now's the time, especially if we're going to be doing a cleanse and a reset to get our downloads for this 8-8 activation. Put some of that energy towards finishing some of your projects, right? I want you to write yourself a letter. I want you to write a release letter. We're going to call this a release letter, right? And or you call it a release letter. You can call it a declaration letter. And then I want you to read it out loud on 8-8, right? This letter of release could be all the things that you want to release. And it could also serve as a declaration, the things that you're going to declare for yourself moving forward. And I want you to read that aloud on 8-8. You could also look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. They say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So if you look into your own eyes, then you must be speaking to your own soul, don't it? Look into your eyes and speak the truth that only you know how to speak to yourself. Say the truth that you've not wanted to say out loud to nobody else. Nobody else has to hear you. Speak to yourself. Speak love over your life. Speak alignment over your life. Speak healing into your body and into your soul. You could do a cord cutting, whatever feels comfortable to you. There's a lot of things that you can do. You know, portals don't, when you have a portal is not something that you automatically jump through. Even when we talk about jumping timelines, you know, I don't want to make it seem like it's something that dramatic, you know, like we in a movie, you know, being sucked through a black hole or something, right? You ease into it. You align yourself into it. You get what I'm saying? You align yourself into the new frequencies. Sometimes you can't jump. Sometimes you got to slow walk it. Right? I want to also look at some other things for those of you that like to take your notes. Let me get my pen and pad here. Things I want to outline. For those of you that like to take your notes, I also want to look at a couple of other things that are very important for August for you to also be able to align with. Okay? For you to also be able to align with. Now, remember, write these down. Write these down, brothers and sisters. On 8-8, you're going to activate. 8-8, you're going to activate. That's when the Lion Gate peaks. On 8-12 is when we're going to have that total solar eclipse in Leo. That's the reveal. Things that need to be. So 8-8 is the activate. 8-12 is the reveal. These are things that are going to be needed to be, things that are going to be revealed to you to show you the work that you need to do for you. Now, I don't have anything to do other than if you're one of my students that I'm mentoring. I don't really have anything to do with what your calling is. That has to be something that you recognize, you receive, and you resonate with. Your calling, your purpose. But before you can recognize, receive, and resonate with your purpose, you have to make sure that you have done the work on you. We can't afford at this time to be the type of healers and teachers that, oh, I'm going to teach while I'm healing. You can't do that no more. Nope. Because energy is too powerful in these days. Okay. Now, on 822 through 823 is when we're going to integrate everything that we've been hoping to integrate with. This is when, so write this down. 8-8 activate, 812 is the reveal, and 822 or 823 is going to be where you integrate. That's when our sun moves into Virgo. And that's a whole nother story. Okay. And then on 828, August 28th, still all within the month of August, you're going to release. You're going to do your release work. And that's when we have a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. We know Pisces is very dreamy. Pisces is very dreamy. Pisces, this is the two fish, right? Higher consciousness, sense of spirituality. So there's going to be that partial lunar eclipse. So also, make sure that you're guarded, right? Now, on August the 3rd, just in a couple days, we're going to be able to tap into some healing energy, healing your energy around money, healing energy around the body, and feeling more safe. Why? Because Chiron is going to station retrograde in Taurus. Now, I don't feel the need to get off too much into astronomy other than giving you, because you can do your research like I do my research. But I'm going to give you some dates just to give you a shortcut. Now, on August 3rd, that's when we have Chiron. And August 6th, Venus goes into Libra. So your relationships should start getting a little bit better. Balance. Remember, Libra is the scale. Libra all about balance, and Venus is the planet associated with love. So on August 6th, able to take advantage of some energies having to do with relationships, feeling sense of beauty return, feeling more beautiful with yourself. You're always beautiful. I hope you know that. Right? I hope you know that you are beautiful, but maybe now as we enter into this Lion's Gate, you'll be able to remember some things about yourself that you had long forgotten. Now, August 7th, our sun is trine. That's a 3. That's kind of going to be like making a triangle with Saturn retrograde. So that means it's time to get serious before the eclipse is. That means stop talking about it and be about it. Stop talking about it and be about it. This is what's going to happen on August 7th. Okay, you say I was going in and out. I don't know what's going on. They don't want this truth to get to you, but we're going to try to get it to you. Okay, so I said that on the 8-6, that has to do with the love. The Lion's Gate is opening, but Venus enters Libra on August 6th. Venus enters Libra, so that has to do with your relationships getting better. Okay? Relationships getting better. August 7th is getting serious. Be about it, not just talking about it. And then 8-8 is when the Lion's Gate, that's that 888 energy, is when we're going to ignite that power. We're going to ignite. We're going to activate. That's going to be our 8-8 activate. That's going to be our mantra. Now, August 9th, that's when Mercury goes into Leo. And if you know a little bit about the planets, and if you know about how they align and conjunct with the signs, Mercury is responsible for communication, technology, all of these things. And Leo What are we talking about when Mercury goes into Leo? We're talking about that bold expression, speaking your truth, activating your throat chakra. Okay. All right. That's what we're going to do August 9th. Mercury goes into Leo. August 12th is when we have that total solar eclipse. And it's a new moon in Leo. August 12th is a new moon in Leo. That's the reveal. That's when we pause for a minute. Claiming back your sovereignty. August 22nd and August 23rd, our sun goes into Virgo. We're coming out of Leo season. That's when we integrate. That's when we ground it. Virgo is all about grounding, earth, building that discipline, right? August 27th, that sun is going to trine with Chiron. That's when we recognize a lot of the old wounds. That's when we recognize a lot of the old wounds and we get ready to have to release. August 28th, that's when we're going to have that partial lunar eclipse and that full moon in Pisces. That's when we release. That's when we deal with our emotions and start processing our emotions properly. And on August the 31st, the end of this month, Jupiter is going to trine with Saturn retrograde. That means we're going to have that expansion, but that expansion is going to meet structure because remember, Saturn is all about structure. It's all about discipline. It's all about order, right? So when that happens, we're going to still have expansion, but this is a type of expansion that needs to be built to last. All right. So we're going to ignite August 3rd through the 8th. August 3rd through the 8th, we're going to ignite. Okay. August 9th through the 12th is when we have our reveal. August 13th to the 23rd is when we integrate. Right? And then we're going to close out the month with release, August 24th through the 31st. And when we close that out on August 28th, that partial lunar eclipse and that full moon in Pisces, that's going to close out that eclipse season completely. When we look at Pisces, again, Pisces is about dissolving, grieving, letting things go, releasing. So whatever the Leo eclipse revealed to you, you're going to process those emotions properly as we get ready to move into the grounding energy of Virgo. The grounding energy for Virgo. Now, a couple of other things that I want to kind of touch on before I ask you to join me for a guided meditation and universal affirmation and prayer is, it's about grounding. It's about teaching. It's about being able to walk you through this lion's gate, just as someone who has done the work, who has, weighed myself, my worth in gold, just welcoming you into this portal, welcoming you back to yourself, asking you to write out, call out, name out the things that you know that you need to, because this, when we talk about energetic portals, it's not just something that just sounds trendy. I know it sounds trendy. 8-8 Lionsgate activate. It sounds catchy, but we're talking about real powerful, tangible energy here. We're talking about something that science can measure. We're talking about something that your biology can feel, can sense, can experience. So it's not just something trendy, family. And it's very important that we recognize that. It's very important that we recognize that. Also, I forgot this earlier. I didn't want to wait to the end. I meant to teach on it earlier when we were talking about the doggone people of Mali and the connection with Sirius, because we talk about the Lion's Gate, but we don't talk about how very important the energy of Sirius is in this. Okay. Now, Sirius, we think that when we talk about the Lion's Gate, it's just all about Kemet and all of that. But I want to go a little bit deeper. When we talk about the oral cosmology of the Dogon, the Sirius knew, and they showed the Europeans about this. And the Europeans were flabbergasted. The Europeans were astonished at how these people with no technology, no telescopes, no measurable way of knowing this information was able to give them accurate, true information about the binary star system called Sirius. So that's Sirius A and Sirius B. And again, they knew this centuries before the Europeans and their telescopes were able to confirm it. Although it's debated by scholars, we truly know it to be a preserved indigenous knowledge. Also, in ancient Rome, when I don't know if you all have ever heard this before, they talk about the dog days of summer. That's where that came from. Ancient Rome. That's where that saying came from. Ancient Rome. Even in the Vedic astrology, when we look at Sirius, I think they practice something, and there's a tradition called nakshatra, right? And that's for their Hindu astrology. Vedic astrology is different than the Western astrology. Okay. So again, we know that our universal year is 1. We know that this month is our 8-8 portal, right? I've given you days. I've given you days that you can kind of look to do specific work, look to do specific things. But I want you to bring this knowledge into your being. Embody it. Remember what I said last time? I say that the word body is in the word embodiment. You have to bring it into your body. You have to become one with it. This is how you truly resonate with something. You allow the energies of that portal to descend into your physical. Okay? This is what we're doing. And we're going to release and receive. Release and receive. Release what no longer serves you, and receive the downloads that you need to make the course correction towards the version of yourself that you know you are becoming. It's no magic. It's no mysticism. It's nothing hidden. It's nothing that you got to pay somebody else to do. It's nothing that you have to, make any type of sacrifice to get this knowledge and this wisdom. This is information, knowledge, and wisdom that is available to each and every one of you for the free. This is your birthright to have the knowledge that you need. Greetings, Sapphire. Greetings, Sticky Too Sweet. This is very important. It's time to release and receive. Very important that this is what we tap into. Okay? Now, I would like to do a guided meditation for us as we move through this 8 portal. For those of you that are not driving, you can close your eyes and be a part of this guided meditation if you're catching this after the fact, or you can, once you get back to a place where you are not moving, you can go ahead and re-listen to the guided meditation. But again, I want to reiterate the importance of this Lion's Gate. Of course, you are more than welcome. This is my pleasure. It's my pleasure to bring forth the information that we all need. We all need this information. We all need these downloads, right? Because sometimes people want to make the right decisions. People are ready to do the work. They just don't even have a clue on how to start. So if your teachers or what you're tapping into is not giving you a blueprint on how to start, that people are just wanting to keep you dependent on them, then I don't know what to say. Y'all in the wrong timeline, because that's not what I do here. Again, if you are part of the soul elite, you should know that. So you should check your email. There's a difference between the soul temple and the soul elite. You can also check that link in the description, and you could check out a lot more of what we've got going on, right? You should, if you are soul elite, you should have received a session for your 888 Lionsgate Road opening. So I've opened 10 spaces, and it is first come, first served for road opening, getting your downloads, and clearing the energetic path to set your intentions to do what we need to do. These are not card readings. These are not tarot readings. These are sessions to open your road, set your intention. We're going to do a little distance Reiki for you during that call, and you're going to open your road, open your path, so that your Lion's Gate will be most aligned and most attuned with what you're desiring at this time. So if we're ready for our meditation, I want you to find your seat wherever you are. You could be on your couch. You could be on your car. Just don't be driving. Pull over. You can sit. You can lay. I would like for you to allow your hands to rest comfortably with your palms facing up in your lap. Black Kitty, hit that link in the description and contact me through there, and I'll see what I can do for you. I'll see what I can do for you. We're getting ready for our meditation. All right. And if you are relaxing, palms facing upward on your lap, these palms facing upward to me represents kind of a receiving and giving. The left side of your body, your left hand receives, your right hand gives off energy. So you are receiving and giving off. So whatever you need to release and let go through the right palm, that's fine. Whatever you need to call in through the left hand, remember that your palms have chakras as well. Your palms have energy centers as well. This is why when you shake somebody, you got to be careful whose hand you're shaking out here, right? Because the palms of our hands are energy centers as well. So you're going to let those hands rest open. And that's a message that you're sending to your body to saying, I'm ready to receive. Now, close your eyes, or you can just kind of let your eyes relax a little bit. I want you to take one breath in through your nose and sigh it out. Sigh it out loud, as if you're letting it all go. Let's do that one more time. Let's breathe that in. And you're sighing that out. Now, one more time, take it in as deeply as you can. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and exhale that out. Now, as your eyes are closed or as your eyes are softened, I want you to picture above you a gate in your mind's eye. Remember, we're walking this walk in our mind's eye. I want you to picture right above your head a gate. The gate is not locked. This is a gate that's been waiting there for you since before you were born, waiting for you to recognize that it was there. This is the Lion's Gate. I want you to visualize that beautiful, blue, bright, burning Sirius above the gate, the Sirius star. It's above that gate. Visualize that in your mind's eye. I want you to visualize that sun in Leo. I want you to visualize that behind you as if that energy is warming the back of your neck. And I want you to visualize the earth beneath your feet. Steady, solid. I want you to feel that warmth on the back of your neck, on the back of your head. I want you to feel this. This is your fire. This is your life force. This is the part of you that was not meant to be quiet. This is the part that was not meant to shrink. Now I want you to let that move, that fire move down into your spine. And I want you to visualize that fire at the base of your spine, right at your root chakra. Just turning and spinning. And I want you to visualize it now rising through your root, going into one chakra at a time, slowly. It's not a rush, just a slow, gentle, divine fire. Moving through your belly and moving upward into your chest and now into your throat. And now I want you to feel that move into your crown. Now your divine light has been lit. What they say you lit. So we're going to get lit right now. You always been lit. You just didn't know it. Now, I want quiet your mind, and in your own mind, I want you to think of one thing that you are ready to release through this gate. Just one thing. The most important thing. It might be fear. It might be some lie that you've told yourself about who you are. And that lie stopped being true a long time ago. It might be a grudge that you need to let go of. It might be a grief. It might be a version of yourself that's been trying to survive. Think of that one thing that you want to let go. Whatever it is, I want you to see it now. Visualize it. Put form to that thought. Visualize it. See it. Now I want you to exhale. And as you do, I want you to imagine that this thing is lifting off of your chest, rising up and out through the gate above you. Let it go. Push it out through the gate because it's not yours anymore. Let it go. Let it go. There's some part of you that I can feel right now. I could feel some resistance to letting it go. Let it go. You can do it. You can do it for you. And now, in that space that's left behind, I want you to call something in, because remember, when we destroy something or we let something go, there's something that we got to replace it with. I'm not talking about a wish, a hope. I'm talking about a truth, something that you are ready to embody, not just hope for, not just pray for. It could be anything. It could be coming into your truth, your leadership, your joy, your rest, everything unapologetically. Now, whatever that thing is that you want to call in, I want you to see that settling into your chest in the same spot where the thing was that you released used to be. Call that joy in, call that love in, call that divine perfect relationship in, call that pure total healing of your body in, call it in and let it settle into your chest and fill that space. Let it be warm. Feel it as that warm fire, your internal fire, your divine fire. Feel it settling in your chest. It's yours. Now I want you to place your right hand over your heart. And I want you to say silently to yourself in your mind or out loud, I am not asking permission to be powerful. I am remembering that I already am. Now I want you to take another full deep breath. Come on, breathe it in. And exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to let your eyes open slowly whenever you're ready. And I want to welcome you back. I want to welcome you through the gate. You are ready. You are ready. Now, before I let you go, I would not leave you without covering you. I will not leave you without covering you. And so now I'm just going to say a few words of prayer and affirmation over your life, over your finances, over your homes, over your health, over your loved ones, your children, your vehicle, every aspect of you and your life that needs covering. And I'm going to open by addressing my prayers and words of affirmation to the source of all things. O creative source, I call on you by whatever name reaches you, whatever name that my dear brothers and sisters that are gathered with us here today call you by, or even by no name at all. I'm reaching out to you as an intercessor for my brothers and sisters. We come to this gate, this lion's gate. We come as we are. Some of us are tired. Some of us are grateful, but we are whole. We're coming to you whole, even in our unfinished mess. We are coming to you. We ask for the courage of the lion to release what we have outgrown, and we ask for the humility to let it go gently without punishing ourselves for how long we carried it. We ask today for the clarity to see what is truly ours to build on this 8 and the steadiness to build it one day at a time. I ask that you let us be a people who can tell the truth, who can hold each other in hard seasons, who can be pillars to one another, who choose courage over comfort and connection over certainty. This is what I'm asking of you today, O Most High. We hold in our hearts today all who are grieving, all mothers, all fathers, all children, anybody out there who needs to be held in warmth and in space. We hold up all who are far from their homes, who are far separated from their loved ones. whether they be on military duty, whether they be incarcerated, whether they live in a completely different area, all that are far from what they call home, we also hold them up. We also hold up all of our brothers and sisters who are frightened in any way, who are still operating in fear in any way, even if it's just a fear of being seen. We hold them up. I ask you that this light that we hold, this light that we let shine, this light, this light is older than any name we give to it. We ask that this light find its way into each and every one of our hearts. We ask that the healing power of this light do what it needs to do. May it purify blood. May it activate nervous systems. May it clear lungs. May it grow hair. May it bring spouses back. May it free those that don't deserve to be in prison. May it free them. We ask that this light be shown upon each and every one of us who is willing to stand beneath it, Most High. And we ask that this light find its way to us, to me. We don't ask to be spared from the fire because we know it needs to be burned. We ask that we be shaped by it no differently than a coal has to go through fire to become a diamond. No differently than sand has to go through fire to become glass. We know that fire purifies. And this portal of fire that we walk through, we ask that it be a holy fire. A holy fire. This is the fire that we seek today. I ask that all my dear brothers and sisters that have joined this live, that have joined this chat, and those that will catch this video after the fact, I ask that they be given the courage to walk through this portal, to get what it is that they need, and to allow that holy divine fire to burn through all deceit, burn through all fear, burn through all miscommunication, burn through all gaps, burn through all unworldly desires. We ask that this be a purifying fire. We are opening ourselves to it at this time, not that we be consumed by it, but that we be purified because of it. O Most High, I particularly am careful. I am grateful. 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 I am grateful for the life that I've been given. I am grateful. I am grateful for the purpose that I've been given. I am grateful. I am grateful for the words that I've been given. I am grateful. I am grateful for the discernment that I've been given. I am grateful. I am grateful for each and every soul that has come to me to be their teacher, to be their mentor, to be their guide, whether through services or just through and by transmissions. I am grateful for each and every one of them, and I ask that their lives be touched in a magnificent way. I ask that if there is any doubt within any of them that touch the sound of my voice, if there is any doubt, that that doubt be removed and replaced by a certainty that they belong, that they deserve, and so it is. All right, my brothers and sisters, I thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for this time. I hope that you get something from this transmission, right? Because I know I did. Thank you, Supreme Melanoidness. Listen, I've missed you too. I've missed you all. Listen, for those of you that it's been a minute since you've been around, please check the link in the description. Know that I am around, still doing what I do. I'm just not for the masses. I am not for the performance aspect. That means that if you are here, that you were meant to be here. That means that if you are here, then that means that you're on a new timeline with me and you're ready to do the work. And it is you who I am here for, those that are ready to do the work. And until next time, as always, I leave you and I love you in the peace, love, and oneness of the infinite creator. Until next time.